Let's start with Netflix because it has cemented its place as the world's biggest TV streaming company with another big jump in subscribers. Now, Netflix started cracking down on people sharing their passwords around this time last year, and it's been paying off. And when you combine that with some hit shows like Bridgerton and Baby Reindeer, well, it's been a pretty successful few months for the streamer. Netflix shares have risen by a third since the start of the year. Let's show you some more of its numbers now. It signed up 8 million new subscribers between April and June, and that's much higher than the 5 million or so that analysts and investors were expecting. That takes its global subscriber base to more than 277 million people, far more than its competitors Amazon Prime or Disney Plus. Sales overall also jumped. Netflix made revenues of more than $9.5 billion in the second quarter. That itself is a rise of 17% on the same period last year. But there's trouble ahead. Netflix is warning that that boost in subscriber growth coming from password sharing, the crackdown on password sharing, is slowing down. Well, Jeremy Goldman is at Insider Intelligence and told me earlier that Netflix really has become the king of streamers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the really interesting things about this story is that Netflix has been able to, stand up in effect an advertising platform over the last year or two when they had nothing, for basically decades, right? And be able to stand up the right kind of platform, the right team behind it in order to have this advertising become a major part of their growth story over the last 2 years.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the password sharing and to what degree this is all because of the crackdown on that. Obviously, what we've seen is lots of people who are sharing passwords across lots of family members are being told, no, you can't do that anymore. And they've acknowledged themselves that that could be contributing to this bump in numbers. Where's the line here? To what extent is this kind of organic growth and is this kind of forced growth?
And it really is a bit of both. I mean, the password sharing, the frictionless experience that they've been able to essentially put, in front of consumers has given them the option to, rather than saying you are stealing access, you're a bad person. It's been more so about like, listen, we just want you to pay for this service, and as a result, it hasn't really turned off consumers. And I think that that's a big part of the story. At the same time, it is important to note that they have a very affordable ad tier now for a lot of people who might have not necessarily thought about Netflix as within their household budget in past years. And I think that that's been a major part of the story. A significant portion of new signups in most markets where advertising supported viewership is supported, that's what people are signing up for.
Yeah, and we're not used to hearing about advertising on Netflix because most people pay their monthly amount and watch TV shows ad-free. But as you say, we could be hearing about it more. Netflix saying it will become a significant part of their revenue from 2026 onwards. One of the other things that stood out for me is this plan to stop doing just this, regularly reporting just how many subscribers are signing up. They're going to do that from next year. Why?
Well, part of it is what's going to look more favorable to them, right? They want people to be spending time on the platform because then they can serve them more ads. And as a result, that's the kind of thing that's really going to matter and not necessarily the total number of viewers, right? They're really ultimately focused on being a company that's all about revenues and earnings growth. And that's the type of company that you're really going to see going forward, which is why I think a lot of the, let's say, second tier streaming platforms are very much in playing catch up mode.
And a lot of the streamers have been cutting back, haven't they, on their productions? I know Netflix used to throw money at it, and that all seemed to stop a little while ago. Where do you see the spending happening now on the productions that, the big title productions, the glossy productions, the Bridgertons of this world, to bring viewers in, not just for Netflix, but for the other streamers too?
The content cost, that's something that's certainly been looked at across the whole entire streaming landscape. That's something that we're following very closely. The strikes obviously caused quite a bit of issues across the whole entire landscape. But what was interesting is that Netflix didn't really suffer as much as some others. You didn't really see a lot of churn, and that's because there's a whole lot of loyalty that the average Netflix subscriber has.